All right, everybody. So, a common question people ask me is how I'm able to fit in the social media thing with having family, running business. So let me just kind of just come out and just let you know this is how it's done. So typically, I'll wake up around 6:30 or so, and I'll spend about 15 minutes doing a little bit of responses to anything that occurred over the night. Then I'll drop off my son to school, come back, do about a half hour of a little social while the other two are getting ready, and then they'll get off on the bus, and then I'll end up then heading out to the office or off to meetings. It's typically I'll start my meetings at around 8:30 for the day. And then for me, then as I'm driving, that's when I hit out my podcast. I'll usually do one or two segments through Anchor, and then I'll publish them. So right there, I'll just click the button, record, put in the caption, and then send it through. So that's how I end up hitting the podcast. So in the morning, typically doing Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, just responding to anybody that's made comments, be able to keep that engagement because people, when they leave comments, they want to know how that went down. Well, think about it. From the person that leaves a comment, they want to know that you acknowledge the comment. And then after that, then I'll come into the office and then I'll hit out emails. And then I'll make any phone calls that I might have. And remember, so when it comes to my business, I'm entrepreneurial. So I'm an entrepreneur. I run my own business. And so I can kind of come and go as I please. And so I set my schedule. And then probably around maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock, no, probably around 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. 11 o'clock, I'll probably, go back in, look at any kind of messages or responses and engage with people that way. And then at noon, that's typically when I will, if I don't have a lunch meeting that day, that's when I'll create some content. So I'll make a video, I'll do some lifting in between some of these things, and then I'll use my lunch hour as a way to be able to engage a little bit more long-winded into things, make a video and then upload that. And then in the afternoon, then I'll be typically running some meetings, having some appointments, responding to emails, getting, for me, for my business, because I live in a very heavy compliance industry, so I can't tell you specifically about what I'm doing. You can look at my LinkedIn profile and just see. And then what I'll do is I'll be running meetings and following up with clients and from that perspective. And then depending on the week, typically there's one night a week where I end up running late appointments. It's typically on a Thursday night or a Tuesday night that I'll run late. So when I mean I run late, for me that's like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And then so after that, then I'll typically get home around 5:30, 6 o'clock every single night. And then when I'm home, it's family time, right? So it's eating dinner. So this is a way it kind of gets mixed up on my day. So just to kind of give you some context. So on Monday nights, we have our family night. So typically we don't like anything to kind of get in the way. If we can avoid any kind of set schedules to get in the way of our family time, we do a thing called Family Home Evening where we sing, we pray, we have a little lesson that we teach to our children. And it could just be about, honesty and about, communication. It could be spiritually related. And then on Tuesday nights, swimming for the 6-month-old is at 6 o'clock, and this is at the YMCA. And then at 7 o'clock, the oldest son has Taekwondo, and so that's a lot of times. Then I'll end up going to the gym. My wife and I will flip flop who swims or who doesn't, and then one of the people can work out while the other one's watching the child, the newborn. And then on Wednesday nights, that's when I volunteer with the youth at my youth group at my church, and so and also the Boy Scouts of America. And so that'll be Wednesday nights, typically from 6:30 to 7:30, or really ends up becoming like 6:15, 6 o'clock to about 8 o'clock. You kind of end up booking up a little bit more time just based on travel time and then, conversations afterwards. And then on Thursday nights, basketball at 6 o'clock for one of the sons, and the other one has Taekwondo at 7. We have 4 sons. And then on Friday, the second youngest, he has swimming lessons. So basically each night of the week already has something, and the swim lessons are at 6:50, so basically 7 o'clock, and then I'll hit the gym as well. And then on Saturdays, typically that's fam time. So I might take a meeting in the morning because a lot of times everyone sleeps in, and so I try to like 8 to 10. I'll open that up for meetings. And then on Sunday, it's purely just fam time. We'll go to church for a few hours, and then afterwards we'll hang out, we'll play a bunch of games, a bunch of board games, charades, Clue, play card games like Texas Hold'em, 21, blackjack. I taught my sons blackjack when they were pretty young to be able to help reiterate the value of mathematics, addition. And so they got really quick at being able to use math. So where do you use math? Boom, right there, blackjack. And so that's been fun. So we like to have a lot of fam time where we're maybe turning the TV off, maybe there's music in the background, but we're playing games, we're engaging together. My wife and I, we control how much screen time the boys get, especially tablet time. And it's mainly because we want to be able to have them be doing something different with their mind. So we want to make sure that they read. So to kind of go there from a parenting perspective, the way that we have it is when the boys get home from school, they will read for a half hour, then they will engage on Khan Academy, Khan academy.org, and that's just a free online tool that they can learn. And we used to have them just focused on math because some of them were struggling a little bit with math. For us, right, we want them to be top caliber for math because we find it's really good for the mind. We're already having them read on a daily basis, so reading and math, that's kind of the two strong suits. And so now we're at a point where, because we've been doing it for over a year, they drive it themselves, whatever you want to learn. So we want it to be learner driven, because when they go to school, it's being taught at them, where now when they come home, we want them to be whatever they want to learn. So if they want to learn about Benjamin Franklin on Khan Academy, they can. They want to learn about coding, they can. They want to learn about the economy, they can. They want to learn about politics, they can learn a whole multitude of stuff on those free apps, and or that free website, excuse me. And then we also have them do some physical stuff. So because we want to make sure that they're active, they're not really big into sports yet. They're just kind of being introduced to some different things, and that's kind of our attitude. Is let's just keep exposing them to some different styles of sports, and that way they can make a decision of what they want to do. And then they will. So like right now, what they do is 20 push-ups, 10 leg lifts, so you're laying on your back and you put your legs down 90 degrees and lift them up, and then they do 60 seconds of wall squats, and they go back and do 20 push-ups, and then they'll do 10 ab rollers. And so it's just a way for them to be able to engage their full body. And then typically my wife will change it every 90 days, do something that they can just do at the house. We live in a pretty Arctic winter, so doing something outside doesn't happen here for these, basically from almost December all the way until probably April. But then we'll have them do something during the daytime. So if it's decent weather out, for us, decent weather, by the way, is like 45 and up. So then what happens is we'll have them do stuff outside. So they'll, jump rope, they'll go ride their bikes. That'll be the physical part of what they need to do in order for them to get out of the house and experience life out there, out on the outside. And so that's how we end up. So a big question that people ask is, how do I mix in social media, my wife on this? So yeah, my wife is totally, we had to have a conversation about what I'm going to do, because I made my profile public. So now anybody can reach out to me. So there has to be a lot of good communication. Plus you got men and women, reaching out to you. You got kids sometimes reaching out to you, and you got to be able to, I need to explain that to her, kind of what the context is. And so it's totally open, right? So we have to have good communication. And I tell her, the conversations, they have to always surround, work or advice. If it starts getting towards relationships, I just kind of shut that down, just because I don't want to be giving advice to someone about relationships, just because I think it can get a little bit, I never want it to get misinterpreted, and on anybody's radar. And then if people ask me to go look at weird stuff, then I just decline them, and I delete those profiles. I mute them, I block them, just because I don't need any of that kind of garbage. In my life, if you enjoy that, that's your choice. And so we definitely have conversations around it, and just making sure that when I'm home, and putting the phone down. It's tough from a standpoint that I love engaging with people. I love talking to strangers, and for me, I'm extremely good at engaging with people and gaining trust on this medium of social media. The proof of that is my wife. We literally, she and I built a relationship through Facebook Messenger, through Skype, around the world, right? We were 17 hours away from each other, and we were able to build it. And by the way, she's 11 years younger than me. I was a single dad with 3 kids. So she's an amazing human being, and I'm really good at communicating in all its facets, face-to-face and also online. And so I want to make sure that when I'm home. And so sometimes I'll plug the phone in and that's it. You just got to let it be and let it stay there. And that way she and I are engaged in having good conversations and growing and doing some things together. So one of the things that my wife and I enjoy doing is, Tuesday nights, that's date night. So after all these kids activities, boom, sometimes we'll watch a movie or go to the movies. Tuesday nights, the reason why I chose Tuesday night is because at a local theater here, Marcus Theaters, they actually have $5 movie tickets. And also, if you're in their club, which is free, you get a small popcorn for free. It's fantastic. So I can watch a movie for $5. So my wife and I for $10, and we get free popcorn. I love it. And so now with a 6-month-old, we haven't gone out on date night to the movies in a while. So we've been finding movies at the library to be able to have fun that way. And so that is a little bit more of the meat of how I kind of structure things. For me, from a fitness perspective, sure, I want to lose weight. I want to get down to about 195. I think that'd be an ideal weight for me. I'm at 220 right now, so I'm definitely heavier than where I want to be. Pants are a little bit tight. If I bend over, I don't necessarily like what I'm looking at in the middle of my gut. But I got a lot of strength, so I'm pretty excited about that. But for me, health is a lifelong pursuit. Nutrition is a lifelong pursuit. There aren't any cheat days. There's no diet. Fruits, vegetables, meat, get rid of some of the filler things, get rid of bread, get rid of noodles, get rid of rice. Those are all just fillers. They're not adding any value to me. Potatoes. But we're not big potato people. We're big rice people. We consume gobs of rice. We'll probably almost a 50-pound bag every 6 weeks. We'll just consume tons of rice. And so it's just slowly kind of weeding that out of the overall diet, or just having it less of a proportion on your plate, and then so more fruits, more vegetables, more meat. That's the idea. I will hit a protein shake with almond milk or cashew milk. I got a little bit of lactose intolerance. And then, so that's the health side. So looking to exercise and get active 4 to 5 days out of the week. And so if I can't get to the gym, or if we're too busy with running the children around at night, then I'll end up just doing push-ups at home. So, wife and I are, kids are down, and we're taking care of the 6-month-old. And so I'll just do push-ups. So I'll deal out some cards and I'll do some push-ups. I might do some leg lifts. I have a little ab wheel and I'll use that. So I'm not having to go anywhere. I'm not taking time away from the from my wife. And so we can stay there. So there's, you want to have high levels of engagement when you're around each other. The other one that we'll focus in on is when it comes to just being there for children, is making sure that it's good quality time. So sitting around the TV isn't good quality family time, but sitting around in a circle and playing cards for us is. And also then drive time for me is very important. It becomes important. So a lot of times it's just turning down the radio. It's still in the background, but it's actually talking to the kids and asking them questions about how their day went and what's going on. Boys aren't as communicative as girls are, and so you need to kind of prod and pull out what went down during the day. Tell me your highlight. What was a positive thing? Tell me, who are your friends? I talked to my buddies that have daughters, and the girls they go on and on and on. It's pretty fantastic. So it's a little bit different engagement. So hopefully this answers the question for anybody that has, how do I balance out work and then family time and then the whole thing of social media? I see a huge opportunity for social media in my space, mainly because it's a very heavy compliance business. And so if I can understand how to use it and leverage it, then I feel like I can be seen as a thought leader and be an actual practitioner in driving the results that I want. And so that's really why I'm hot and heavy in on it. It does help that I'm totally self-employed. So I set my calendar. I'm the one that's driving when I'm meeting with people, when I'm sitting down with people, and ultimately what's happening there in the space. Plus, I am very outgoing. I can work a room. So if you ever meet me, you would get the feel of the energy. The moment that I walk into a room, people want to come talk to me. It's just the energy that I have when I enter a room, and I love meeting you. I love your story, and so I'm more concerned about you than anything else. I don't care about me at all. I don't care, what you think of what I look like or how I'm coming across. I care about having a conversation with the people that are in those rooms. All right, Sherm's out.